To the fallout from the latest release of the Jeffrey Epstein documents, they include communications between the rich and powerful, from the co-owner of an NFL team to billionaires like Elon Musk. And tonight, the newly released photos of Britain's former Prince Andrew. Here's ABC's investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin.
Tonight, the fallout continues as new details emerge from the millions of newly released Justice Department records on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Today, we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images.
Including this stunning, never-before-seen prosecution memo and draft indictment written nearly 2 decades ago. Prosecutors in Florida detailing the disturbing evidence they gathered against the financier, calling him a continued danger to the community based upon his continued enticement of underage girls. But that 60-count indictment never filed. Instead, Epstein landing the now infamous deal allowing him to plead guilty to lesser state prostitution charges, for which he served just 13 months in a Florida jail. Upon his release, Epstein free to enjoy a jet-setting lifestyle and access to the rich and famous until his 2019 arrest. These messages from 2013 show Epstein connecting New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch with various women. In one exchange, Tisch asked about a woman only identified as M, writing, "Curious to know about M, pro or civilian." In another, Epstein informed Tisch about a microbiology student in Florida who he said was interested in meeting, advising Tisch to, quote, "make it clear that you will organize her ticket." In a statement, Tisch acknowledging a, quote, "brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women," but saying, "I did not take him up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person and someone I deeply regret associating with." Known Epstein associates like the former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein, back in the spotlight as well, with the release of these photos showing him crouched over a young woman, the date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment. Also in the documents, numerous unverified tips and unsubstantiated allegations against powerful figures in politics, finance, and entertainment, including President Trump, claims the Department of Justice says are unfounded and false.
There's this mantra out there that, the Department of Justice is supposed to protect Donald J. Trump, and that's what we were telling. That's not true. That was never the case. We are always concerned about the victims.
But some of Epstein's victims now furious, saying many of their names were left unredacted and exposed in this latest release. Epstein survivor Charlene Rochard tonight telling me she is, quote, "completely disappointed with the Justice Department."
I have absolutely no faith in this justice system at this point. The DOJ is not taking care in survivors at all. They're not considering us.
And with now the bipartisan lawmakers who pushed for the release of the Epstein files are raising questions about the 3 million pages of records the Department of Justice did not release. They're now asking for an in-person briefing to review the full files.
Olivia Rubin for us tonight. And tune into This Week tomorrow morning. George Stephanopoulos speaks with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche about the release of the Epstein files.